Hello my dear friends, today I will speak about Majorca. Majorca is one of the largest islands that are part of Spain, located on the Balearic archipelago in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. I believe that this is a truly heavenly place where you can enjoy picturesque landscapes, clean beaches and forget about all the everyday problems. My acquaintance with this wonderful island began with its capital Palma de Mallorca. Here you want to take pictures of absolutely everything. So I advise you to free up the memory on your phone, tablet and camera in advance because you will constantly have a desire to capture this or that place. The main and only airport of the island, which is called San Juan, is located 8 kilometers from the capital of Palma de Mallorca. It is here that both external and internal flights arrive. The airport has a very well established connection with various European countries, including Russia. Mallorca is located to the southeast of the coast of Spain, in the very center of the archipelago. It has a unique fertile climate with prolonged rains in autumn and sunny weather in the rest of the year, with moderately hot summers and mild warm winters. This Spanish island is considered a relatively easily accessible paradise for a fun holiday with a group of friends. About 8 million tourists come here every year, which has become both a blessing and a curse for local residents. The tourist season starts in April and ends in October. The high season falls on July and August. The flow of tourists is maximum. The island attracts millions of people from all over the world every year. The capital of the Balearic Islands, Palma de Mallorca, is rightfully called one of the oldest cities in Europe. Archaeologists have found here traces of the habitation of ancient people of the Neolithic era, 6 to 4,000 years BC, and stone structures of the Bronze Age 2 to 1,000 years BC. The active colonization of Mallorca by the Phoenicians began in the 8th century BC. Its entire territory was controlled by Carthage for several centuries. And after its fall, during the Second Punic War, pirates ruled the Bar here. In 123 BC, the Romans seized power over the island and the robbers were finished. Wanting to strengthen their power in this part of the Mediterranean Sea, the Imperials built the port city of Palma. From here, they traded with Africa and the provinces of Spain. In 427 AD, when the Roman Empire collapsed, Mallorca was captured by Vandals under the leadership of Gundurich. For many years, they used the island as a base, returning here after pogroms and looting. But this milestone in the history of the city ended when the Byzantine came to Palma in 534. During their rule, Christianity spread on the island, temples were built and infrastructure developed. In 903, the Arabs conquered the Balearic Islands, including Mallorca. The locals were converted on the Muslim faith. The city of Palma, renamed Medina Mallorca, during this period was rebuilt, grew and turned into one of the largest ports in the Cordova Caliphate. On its territory, manufacturing, production, agriculture developed. Trade was actively going on. the Balearic Islands became an independent territory in the 11th century after the collapse of the Caliphate, turning into the Muslim state of Taifa Denia. This is a rather dark period of the history of the city, since for almost 100 years it turned into a pirate port from which attacks were made on ships and coastal settlements of Christian states. At the beginning of the 13th century, an army led by King Jaime I of Aragon conquered the Balearic Islands from pirates, and they became part of his kingdom, and Palma received the status of the capital of the Kingdom of Majorca. After the expulsion of the Arabs, the Catalans settled the city. The rapid flourishing of shipbuilding and trade began here, but in the middle of the 14th century another black page in the history of the city opened. A plague epidemic came to the island, which took away a significant part of the population. 100 years later, Majorca became part of Catholic Spain. Later, when King Philip V won as a result of the civil war of the 16th century, a decree was signed defining this territory as an autonomous community of the Balearic Islands. Starting in 1810, Spaniards began to move to Majorca, fleeing from the occupation of the main territory of the state by Napoleon's troops. It was during this period that the capital of the island received its modern name. By the middle of the 19th century, the city had become a popular holiday destination for the European nobility and bohemian. There is a version that the discoverers of the resort were Frederick Chopin and his beloved Baroness Aurora Dupin. The development of the resort potential of the city was temporarily suspended by the Second World War, but at the end of it, the tourists returned to Palma de Mallorca again. The construction of a new airport in 1965 and the active development of infrastructure contributed to the fact that Palma turned into a very popular resort in a short time. Over the past 50 years, the city has become even more beautiful. In 2007, a subway line was opened in it, and the tourist infrastructure doesn't cease to improve. And now the number of guests of the island's capital per year is estimated in the tens of millions. The city is still loved by the aristocrats and the creative elite.